Hi everyone. You're probably wondering, well, she didn't hit that button right again. You're right, I didn't. Well, that was a short video, wasn't it? Okay, so you're just going to have to follow through with me on this and forgive me for not hitting the right button. Gosh. Oh, anyway, one of these days, like I said. Well, also, my clamp where I have my phone. The clamp is covering up my pause button. And so when I'm thinking I'm hitting my pause button, I'm actually hitting that other button. But it's just the style of clamp I'm using. So to put down, this is a cotton flat lace. So to glue this down, you're going to want to work with something that's got a good grab to it. So I use 3-in-1. And it's a Beacon brand of glue, and it stinks, smells like nail polish remover. So I'm going to, because I don't really want the ball name covered up all the way, I feel like that's too high up, so I'm going to put it down here a little bit, but at least you can see the word. It's not always important, but whatever. And then what we're going to do is, I had bees on my other one, like here. And on this one, I'm going to put ladybugs. Now, I did not make these ladybugs. Somebody else did. And that person is Renee. And her name is Renee Harrison. And she has a Facebook group, I think. And then she also has an Etsy shop. And she has a regular website where you can look at her stuff and buy her things. And so it's Renee Bouquets with an S.com. So I'm just letting you know that that's where I bought the the bugs and the bees. She also makes she makes all these things, so she does beautiful work. So if you are working with a craft and you've not heard of Renee Bouquet, you need to go check out her shop. And I guarantee the craft you're working on will just really enhance it really well when you use her things. Now, I always wondered what I was going to use these. These are fairly big. So I'm going to use a couple of these. They don't really have too much of a dainty look. I suppose they could. I'm going to use this really big one on a different project. But right now I'm just going to use the medium-sized one and a little bit smaller one for this project. And the way she made these to where this particular part of the bug, well, I don't want it to come all the way up, but you can actually bend these part of the wings. So if you want a slightly 3D effect or 2D effect, you can do that. Okay. So now we gotta get this all glued down here. I'm just gonna sort of eyeball this after I shake the poo out of this thing. Did it come down yet? Let me see. Let me do a test. No, it's wanting to be cloggy. Did it come out okay? Oh, goody. It's working again. So I just want to go ahead and run a bead of glue. You could also use hot glue if you wanted to, but not for this project. I'm just going to do this. You would not have to use this particular kind of glue, but I am, just because it's supposed to have a fast grab to it. I don't really know what is the right side and the wrong side on that. To me, that looks more wrong than right. So I'm just going to put that over there, and I'm going to use this to kind of tap this down. Make sure it grabs it. And it's kind of hard to work with lace because sometimes the glues just don't want to grab it right away. Might have to wait for this glue to dry. I'm really hoping it works. I don't remember what glue I used on the other one. I did not hot glue it though, I do know that. Okay, this left a string. Let me see. If I do any more pausing, I hope I hit that darn button correctly instead of doing it incorrectly. It's just a little bit tacky. I'm not really liking that well. Highly flammable. I thought about using my heat gun, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. So, okay. I'm going to glue this on the back at another time, but you'll want to kind of glue that back there. And I'll probably put a separate type of backing, probably some sort of just a designer paper on the back, so you don't have to look at that or whatever the back of yours happens to look like. Okay, so now we want to pick out, I think that's going to hold. Better put the lid on that so it doesn't clog up again. Oh heavens, we don't want that. Okay, so these are some little flowers and things like that I did buy from Renee Bouquet's shop. And this just is kind of made out of a paper. And I want some little rosettes here. I think I used I think this is pretty much all I have from her shop right now. I just need to go ahead and buy some more, you know. If you're like I am, you just can't get enough. I think I said it before in another video. I love lace. All kinds of different laces, flat lace. And then I love crafts, and I will buy a lot of crafts. And yeah. But when I first started making crafts, I didn't have a lot to start out with, so I built up over time. So anyway, gonna just pick out some things here that I want to use. Get some little rosettes in there too. Yeah, I think that might be all I want. And then I don't really have that many leaves to work with. You do want to put some leaves on here. Man, I am going to have to just get some leaves. I think you can just buy leaves from her too if you just want that. Now this wire isn't too thick that I can't cut it, so just with the regular scissors. But don't throw away this because you'll want to use your wire. Trust me, you're going to want to use it. Don't throw it away. Because I just mainly want to... Oh, that cut very easily. Now you can buy other flowers. Like I bought some flowers the other day from a thrift store or flea market, and I'll show you the kind that I got. And I paid little of nothing for these. These are by Petaloo. And, you know, if I had wanted to use something like this, but this looks more fall. And I want something that looks a little bit more spring. But when you can get it for little of nothing, why not? Because these kind of things in the stores are pretty expensive, depending on, you know, what you're looking for. And then I found these. These have, these are kind of more Christmassy looking. But I got it because, again, you're saving money. If you can find it at your flea market, why not get it? You know, so that's what I did there. So you can use a myriad of things that you would want to use on your project. It just all depends on what look you're going for, really. Now, because this is like almost a 3-parter now, I wanted it only to be a 2-part. But because it's turning into a 3-part, it takes a long time to upload videos. I'm not going to lie, it does. And that can be the most frustrating part. So I probably won't get all this stuff uploaded tonight, or if I may not even upload it tonight because it would just take too long. So at the point that I'm making this right now, it is the 11th of February. So you'll probably be watching this a little bit later then. So now I've got to figure out how I want to do my flowers. Kind of just sort of, I'm not going to glue them down just yet because I want to see how I want them. And I love ladybugs. Just pretty much in the springtime, when it starts warming up, we always get dozens of ladybugs in our back porch. And I'm thinking, where do you all come from? Let's see, I kind of like that. In fact, I could even go down a little bit more, because I might orient this ladybug and he's going this way. And this one, he's going this way. They look kind of big, don't they? They look a lot bigger than the bees. Why do these ladybugs look so big? Well, and that is the smaller one. I wouldn't have wanted to use the really big one. These are so big, though, you could probably pretty much get away with wearing. My heavens. Putting just a really big one on there. But he's going to look kind of out of place if I don't add the little one as well. Yeah. So that's just what we're going to do. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I kind of know how I want the flowers arranged now. Now I could have used a bigger rose. This almost looks like a peony, but that's just going to be way too big. It would be all right if it was on a different sort of a project. Now see, that's almost dry. And what am I thinking here? What I really want to do, and I think I used it for this. I'm trying to think. I'm just going to use some of this white glue. I don't have as much of it, but that is what I'm going to do. Because I think that's what I used before. Yeah, I did. Whoa. Why is that just practically dripping out? And that didn't used to do that. Now, why is that doing that for? I don't know. What in the world is going on? I'm not sure why that... I don't know what happened to that glue, but it just plopped out everywhere. Just made a big mess of things. That's got some pretty good grab on that, but I don't know why that did that. That doesn't usually do that. For some reason. That's just coming out like nobody's business. Yeah, why isn't that not sticking? I don't know what happened to that glue. That doesn't usually come out that fast. It's almost acting like water. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't use that. I mean, I have used that one before and it did fine, but now it's not working out for me. I don't know why. Well, whatever. I digress. We will move on then, won't we? Trying to think. I don't know that I have anything else that I could use that would, stick these down. I don't know why this is not. You'll just have to it's a trial and error when it comes to glue. Some glues work better than others, and here I am having to do this again. There it goes. Yeah, I don't know why that did that. I'm not impressed. You did not impress me, glue. Oh! I didn't even know that had gotten on there. Oh my gosh, that's weird. Well, that dripped out everywhere. Well, I think I'm done with this glue then. Shall we say goodbye to my favorite things? Yes, we should. I'm going to just throw it away because it just blopped out everywhere. And then got on an area. Well, and that part did need to be glued down, but it just went everywhere. Now, why did it do that? I don't know. Well, oh my gosh. Maybe I should just open up a new one. Come on. Oh dear, I would pause you, but I feel like I'll mess up again. I'll end up with 4 parts, 5 parts, and I don't want to do that with this video. Maybe I just need to get a new clamping system. A different clamping system. Now then. I make sure I'm doing that correctly. Ugh. It also helps if you got some baby wipes nearby to kind of get glue and junk off your fingers or maybe even off your project. If something kind of plops on an area where you didn't want it to be, you just might want to have something like that nearby to work with. Maybe, just maybe there's enough on that end. There, I'm just going to hold this downward. Maybe I won't have to do that as much. Wait for it to get done. Now, I think I'm going to go ahead and maybe. Okay. Now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to tuck this in here like this. But you're probably thinking, but you left that big long thing there. Well, this is what you do with it. Wait a minute, I don't want to do that just yet. Get a good pencil over here. Again, what is with this glue? Ugh. want to just kind of turn that around like that. If the glue will behave. There you go, and then you got a little curly Q there. Normally I would have probably already settled that down, but I didn't. What is the deal? I guess this particular glue is just going to take a while for things to grab. No. Hopefully this won't take very long to grab. No, on this one I probably do want to, well, no, I don't have to. No, I do want to trim that off. But don't throw away your little thing there. Well, geez. Can you tell I'm frustrated with my glue tonight? Yes, I am. Very frustrated. Good gosh. Ugh. Oh my. It's coming down. It's a-coming, it's a-coming. Okay, so I'm going to tuck that leaf in there. Let's face it. Okay. So you can kind of see how this is coming together now. So I don't waste a lot of more time of just doing this and doing that. I'm going to go ahead and put on the ladybugs here. I'm going to kind of flip up this thing here. I suppose I should do it too. And yeah, I think that'll work. Obviously, you don't see ladybugs this big anywhere. Giant ladybugs. Alrighty, anytime now. And that bug is not going nowhere. I think we got enough on there. I kind of want him to sit about right there. Might have to kind of push down on it a little bit just to make sure it adheres. Oh my. Oh dear, this poor little bug. Why doesn't he want to stay very well? I think what I'm going to do with this guy here, I'm going to take the backing off. That little piece of foam or whatever it is. Spongy stuff that kind of pops the bug up. I don't really want it there. So we want this bug to be going this way. Really wish my chair would not make that funny sound. But it does. If I'm off camera, I am so sorry. I tend to go this way. I don't know why I do that. It's just habit. It's just a bad habit I've got. Going out of the shot. Again, I want lots of glue on this bug. Now that I've had to wait an hour for the glue to come down. So we want that little bug right there. Well, he's not a real small bug, but this kind of gives it a color pop. I think this will look really nice in my kitchen. Again, if you want to work with a little bit bigger cardboard, you can. But you will have to use a, what do you call these things? X-Acto knife. And you'll want to be very careful when you're working with this. I would not suggest letting a child work with something like this. And always, always, always when you're working with children and you're teaching them how to do different, projects and stuff like that, always, always guide them so they're not trying to do things by themselves. Obviously, you want to guide a child because working with something that's real sharp like that, I personally would not want to do that. But, someone who is, kids that are older might know how to work with an X-Acto knife. But when they're still little like that, you don't want them to work with anything like that. This is definitely a project that, well, with this particular one, I was able to use the scissors to cut it out. But when you're going with just a little bit bigger or even a thicker type of material, you will have to use an X-Acto knife to get it cut out with. And of course, I'm sure this would look a lot better if I had maybe like a thicker chipboard or a thin piece of wood. And the word I was looking for when you cover up these kind of things, when you're using gesso on them, and you want to put something over the top of that, it's called decoupage. Why couldn't I not think of that word? I have no idea. It just escapes me sometimes. Okay, so if you're wondering who else was in the room, I share my crafting space with my husband. This is our office slash craft room. And the kind of things my husband does, he works with paintings. So he mainly works in acrylics. I will not allow him to work with oils because I'm allergic to paint thinner. I didn't used to be, because when I took art classes and things like that, we had to work with paint thinner. When I took that still life class, well, that was with acrylic paints, but still we worked with paint thinner too. So I'm just going to use this pencil to kind of hold that down a little bit. And then, chemicals like that didn't used to bother me. But after I reached a certain age, it was like, oh my gosh, really? The smell is just overwhelming to me. And again, to do these curly cues, I'm just using a pencil. You can make them as tight or as big around as you want to. Ugh, got glue strings on me. I just want to, whoops, I don't exactly want to put that in my glue there, so I'll put that off to the side. If you could see my desk, you would say, oh my goodness, it is very messy, but it's a crafty messy. That it sure is. So I think I might want to put a curly clue. Get a clue, Mary. You want to put a curly I was going to say it again. Curly Q up here. I cannot say things right tonight. What is the matter? I don't know. I will just kind of make sure that gets down in that glue. Eventually the glue will dry clear, so there's no worries about that. But after everything dries, you might want to go around and see if your project has any glue strings on it. Like I can see a very light one right. It's right here, I think. Oh, it's right there. There it is. So anyway, basically, except for just gluing this part down, we're basically done with this project. And I didn't have to put this in part 4 or part 5, so I'm really glad about that. And then see, I see a little bit of a glue thing there. But, so there you go. And then it with the way we did this part here, it gives it depth. So it looks like you're looking inside. And so it gives it really the look of glass. Well, anyway, thank you so much for joining me this evening, or whatever time you happen to be looking at this video. I certainly do appreciate all of my subscribers, and I really, really like seeing the comments. So if you have a comment, if you'd like to compliment me or comment, then please do. I read each and every one of them. I really appreciate them. Right now, I still have 2 YouTube channels, in which is just going to be too mind-boggling for me to keep up with 2. So I'm going to stick with my main channel that has more of my videos on it, and I'll probably let my other, I do have some subscribers on the other channel as well, so I'm going to just combine it into the one channel. So thank you so much for joining me. And please stick around for my other videos, upcoming videos, because I will be doing some decoupaging and some other fun projects. So, thank you so much. Bye.